Welcome to the IAOB SMMT YouTube channel. These 13 videos were filmed at Faltec Europe Ltd in Sutherland, UK, and will focus on techniques that can be used while conducting first, second, or third-party audits using the IATF 16949 standard. These are simulated scenarios and are not intended as a full representation of an IATF audit.
So Peter, good afternoon.
Hiya.
So maybe you could just talk me through your job role.
Yeah, so my job role is an engineering technician, which basically means I'm in sort of charge of doing tool changes, processing issues. If we've got quality problems, my job is to try and put them right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. This part of the audit, I want to look at tool change.
Yeah.
Now, ideally, I would want to see you doing it, but I understand there's not a change plan till later this afternoon.
Yeah, the next change plan's around about 2 o'clock. But all I can show you is what we do by just going through our changeover check sheet.
Okay. Well, maybe I will try and come back this afternoon.
Yeah.
But if we could look at this tool.
Yeah.
And the commissioning into the machine of
Yep.
this tool.
Okay.
Can you take me through the checks that you do?
So before we start any tool change, we'll get a blank changeover check sheet. As you can see, there's a lot of steps that we need to follow to do the changeover safely.
Yeah. What's the point of the yellow checks?
This one, because we had a concern before, so
okay.
this is just making it a lot more like visible.
Okay. I'll follow up on that
Yeah.
concern a bit later
Yeah.
then.
Okay.
And are you doing all of these checks yourself?
Yes. So it's split into two. We've got a tool out scenario and also a tool in.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when you've done the checks then, how do you verify that it's effective before
Well,
you start the machine up?
we've got visual aids on our machine. I can't really show you them,
Yeah.
but the only thing I can show you is that we know now that mould's magnetised.
Okay.
Yeah, so we know that mould's fixed into place, it's magnetised, and it's when we come to open the mould, we know it's not going to drop.
Yeah. And maybe you can explain, when you're running the job, if there's a problem with the tool, how do you get involved? What's the escalation?
So the escalation procedure is we've got a hand-on system,
Okay.
which will be operator first, then to a team leader, then either myself or a supervisor will get involved.
Right, okay. And
Yeah.
I did look at that with one of your colleagues
Did you?
earlier,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Have there been any problems with this today?
No, none today.
Right.
No,
Okay,
everything's
so
been
maybe
all
I
right.
will come back around 3 o'clock then when you're going to be doing the tool change.
Yeah, yeah.
If I can change my agenda
Yeah.
to match that.
Yeah. Fine.
And I will follow up on this concern issue that's identified
Yeah.
here.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's
no-
unfortunate that we can't show you, but
Oh no, that's life
Yeah,
as an
yeah, it
auditor.
is.
We can't always
Yeah,
see
yeah.
it.
Uh-huh.
But I understand the system you go through.
yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for that explanation, Peter.
Great.
In this audit, the auditor is auditing the process of tool change, including job setup. There are a couple of IATF 16949 requirements, including 8.5.1.3, verification of job setup, and 8.5.1.6, management of production tooling and manufacturing, test, inspection tooling, and equipment. When auditing as part of audit planning, the auditor should always try to make sure they can actually observe processes that are operational, especially when auditing within the production process. However, for tool changeover, sometimes this is not possible. And in this case, the auditor has to rely more on reviewing the relevant tool changeover job setup, records and evidence. The engineering technician was confident in explaining the process. When through the discussion, it was identified that the highlighted area in the setup instruction related to a previous customer concern, the auditor correctly stated they would follow up on this later within the audit. The auditor also verified that the auditee was aware of the escalation process in the event of a machine or a tool issue. So let's summarize. To ensure conforming product, having an effective job setup process is essential, including verification that the setup has been done correctly. This is normally done by first-off validation, but in some processes, for example in bulk material, other methods of verification may be used. The job setup process would normally be audited as part of the manufacturing process audit.